Coming up on today's Code Bet Daily, oh boy, we are covering so much ground. I think there's AFL, NFL, MLB. I think Stats Guy, what are you talking about? Wimbledon?
Bit of value in Wimbledon on Jabeur, the underdog, but just going to get a win, I think.
Bit of NRL in there as well. What about you, Alex?
I try to pick the finalists in the Women's World Cup.
Nice one. That'll probably go well. Not much gets upset in World Cups. Nice one, but it is player props, game picks, and best bets, and an absolute shockers. Code Bet Daily. You better check it out. It's really good. Welcome to Code Bet Daily. It is Monday. Oh, geez. There you go. July 10, all day. I am your host, Jaymz Clements. I'm the editor of a very good website. It's called Code Bet. You can find that in a surprise twist again at codebet.com.au. You'll find a whole mess of stuff there today, actually. Women's World Cup. We have the AFL Coleman odds right up there now as well. You can keep track during the week of every single preview, all the good stuff. That's what it does. And, you know, there's also just the pages there, just comparing odds. It's pretty good. Go check it out. Anyway, I'm joined as always by the Puntiffs. That's right. We've got the Stats Guy and Alex Donnelly. Alex, what's going on?
Not a lot. Just slowly coming into some World Cup fever. I don't think we understand how big it's going to be till it actually hits us in the face next week. So really building myself up for that.
I'm really hoping that when you're watching a game at Amy Park, a.k.a. Melbourne Rectangular Stadium, you actually get hit in the face with a football. That'd be funny. And we've got the Stats Guy over there. What's going on, Liam?
I'm a bit tired. Watched the Aussies last night, but unfortunately couldn't get over the line. Still a good test match, and yeah, excited for this one.
Now,
You sound pumped.
I'm absolutely pumped.
I found myself watching the first session of that going, actually, if you cast your mind back, Alex and I did tip England to win.
You did.
It'd be good if the Aussies win this. At the same time, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world if England do.
No.
If nothing else, it gives us two more amazing tests to look forward to, right?
Would have been a few players rested and things like that, so I'm sort of happy for the series.
Exactly.
Why are we happy? I wanted 5-0. Screw that.
To be honest, 5-0 would have been pretty good too.
True.
Yeah. Good for the series. We're Australians. We don't want that. We just want to win. Oh, this is great attack. Nah, let's win. Screw them.
You know what our job is, right?
Yeah, you can still bet. It doesn't mean, the series is over. No more betting. Woo!
It's not as interesting. But either way, and after a big weekend of AFL and NRL, and I don't know what happened to the Rabbitohs. That was pretty funny. But
Told you.
If there was one person on this here program who actually has a winning football team at the moment, I don't know who that'd be.
It's not Alex and I.
Chuckles over here. Oh, Ginger McGee.
You beat Fremantle and you think, and it's all off. We're going to win the flaggers. I was getting text messages from Essendon mates who are getting way too far ahead of themselves. I was getting, you guys, your Carlton fans, like, it's all going to come crashing down eventually. It's going to be hilarious when Port win this weekend.
You know that I'm the most pessimistic Carlton fan guy.
Yeah. You realise you're going to get smoked this weekend.
You were messaging me during that. I'm like, I don't really care. It was just weird that McGovern kicked a goal.
That was funny when you said that.
All right. Anyway, this is Code Winners Only Daily. Code.
See ya.
Yeah, I'm out. See ya.
Catch you, dudes. I'm just going to do 20 minutes by myself talking about the MLB All Star game. Let's do it. Code Bet Daily. It is codes. I've actually got a mess of codes today as well. I think I've got, AFL, MLB, NFL, probably a couple of other things in there too. But it says it on the tin. Codes betting and daily. Player props, game picks, best bets. I don't think we're going to rate my multi today unless Stats Guy's got a Wimbledon one.
Not enough markets, I don't think.
Enough markets, bit of a tough one.
Behind,
Mondays are always a bit lean for the rate my multis.
Yes.
But anyway, as I said, I'm going to be looking at AFL, MLB, NFL, the All Star game for the MLB, and I think there's one also big future that I'm really, really keen on in the NFL that I'll have in best bets. Stats Guy, what about you?
Just some Wimbledon markets in heading into the round of 16 and an NRL future as well.
Nice one, Alex.
EPL goal scorer, just an over-under for a player there. And some Women's World Cup looks, just some tips on. I'm going to name the finalists in the best bets and then some just group looks and progression throughout the tournament in the match game picks. Same.
Sounds good. All right, let's get into it. Player props. Easy one for me, having updated the Coleman Medal article for this week for the site. The Souvlaki King, that's Domantas Sabonis in the NBA. His good friend, Souvlaki, Nick Souvlaki, the big bustling forward for the North Melbourne Kangaroos, $9 for the Coleman. Now, Alex, last week you wrote about this, and we've been on Suva for a little bit now, back from
$17.
$17.
Yeah.
So the leaderboard, however, it was a weird one this week because no one really stamped their authority on the Coleman race. You had Kerno hit his usual 3, basically his average. Tex have 2, so they're tied at the top. Suva only managed the 2 against Geelong. The second one was a gift.
He just got.
It doesn't matter. It all counts. Suva 2.
So when you look at it, you're like, that's all he kind of needed. And the thing is, there's now a bit of separation. I mean, Tomahawk is still right there as well, but
he's not going to kick enough.
He's not probably going to have the.
Jaymz is coming back next week.
He's also still 4 behind Suva. So Suva sits at 44, and the 2 ahead of him are 48. The thing is, with 2 games, and we hit on this last week, right? We knew that Geelong was going to be tough, but for him to get 2 and just sort of stay in touch, and without Charlie kicking like 9 against Freo or something out west, the Souvlaki King is a really good look, I think, because Stats Guy, what's your North Melbourne Kangaroos schedule coming up?
All I know is that we played both.
It's very easy. It's pretty easy.
Easy.
Your 14-game losing streak may end.
Hopefully.
This week you've actually got Hawthorn. I've got to assume that's in Tassie.
I'm not sure, actually.
You are a terrible fan. Continue.
I'm still crying about the weekend.
We know that St Kilda's going to stink. That'll be at Marvel. But look, under the roof,
you could still kick 3 and they kick 6 goals for the game.
Marvel especially.
4 out of the 6. But then they go west to take on the Eagles. And this is the one, right? He could have 8. He could have 10. He could have 14. You never know. The way North Melbourne play as well, right? Like there's a sense of speed and sort of purpose to what they do. They're not very good.
After watching yesterday, drop anyone who's over 30 and 100%. Just play the young dudes. The old dudes were terrible. Play the kids.
Yeah. That might even include Zeeble, right?
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. Zeeble and McDonald, throw them in the bin. Get rid of them.
But then they have a game against Melbourne, who have a pretty good defense. We know that. But then they play Essendon as well at Marvel in a free-flowing affair, no doubt. Richmond, who aren't exactly much chopped this year. And, of course, they finish off the season with Gold Coast. I love the Suva. The fact that he's blown out an extra $1 from last week to $9 now, still great value. He's only 4 behind the leaders. He's got 3 games where he could kick an absolute bag. And you look at Charlie and Tex. Charlie's got an okay run home as well.
Texas looks tough. He's going to cop Charlie Ballard at one stage. He's going to cop Lewis Melican from the Swans. He's going to cop Harris Andrews, and he's got a showdown as well.
Yep. Well, that North Hawks game is actually at Marvel. I just found out, so I was a bit surprised.
I'll be there.
I'll be there, and that actually helps Suva as well because he obviously plays better under the roof.
Loves the roof. Look, Tex has GWS, I think, this week. And
yeah, but he'll cop Sam Taylor.
Who knows what GWS will throw at you week in, week out as well.
Yeah.
They have Melbourne the following week. It's not, and then the showdown. Like, it just gets hard for Tex, I think. So I think it comes down to he drops off a little bit. I think we'll basically come down to Charlie versus the Suva, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Suva just sneaks over the line by 1 or 2 goals. So for $9, I kind of love that. Right, other ones for me just really quickly in terms of player props. Julio Rodriguez, I love him. I love Julio out there for the Seattle Mariners at home up against Pete Alonso. Tough first-round matchup in the MLB Home Run Derby. You little beauty.
Nice.
You can't actually bet on who's going to win it at the moment. Well, you can. You just got to dig a bit. But Julio over Pete Alonso. So this was a matchup last year, and give me Julio, $2.40. You little beauty. At home, absolutely cracking it. And one other little player prop, NFL. Travis Kelce, over 9.5 touchdowns. I'm sort of just digging into the NFL player props as well. We all know Travis Kelce, big bustling tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Everyone's big and bustling today. But 3 of his last 5 seasons, he's gone over 9.5 touchdowns. $1.73. It's a really good sort of just future multi-look for your NFL season, I think. It's the sort of one where you sort of throw it in there with some over yards. You probably pair that up with Mahomes as well. And I'll talk about Kadarius Toney, I think, tomorrow. Yeah, one of the sort of weird Kansas City receivers, but I like his numbers as well. But Kelce over 9.5 touchdowns. He's a machine. He's not going to slow down. KC will be really good again this year. 9.5 touchdowns. He'll be fine. $1.73, off you go. Right, Alex, how are you feeling about your player props?
Yeah, I've got 2 there, and funnily enough, both named Alex. Alexander Mitrovic and Alexander Isak, both in the EPL, both strikers. We'll start off with Mitrovic. Him to score 15 or more goals this season at $1.61 for Fulham. He scored 14 last year, but he only played 24 of 38 games because he decided to, threaten violence against the world in an FA Cup final and copped I think it was like a 10-week suspension.
Yeah, he has a bit of an anger problem.
Yeah, he's a big Serb. What do you expect? But he came off the season before in the championship scoring 43 goals, and he started off the season really well, and then when Fulham started to dip, plus the suspension and injuries, he did miss out there. So Basically, we're banking on him not to murder a referee throughout the season to get the 15 plus, because Fulham, they take the game on. They're pretty fun to watch last season. They are mid-table, bound. That's them. That's fine. That's all they need to do to keep making money and keep being somewhat competitive. I think the 15 plus goals is right there. He's a known goal scorer throughout his career. And then we go up to Newcastle to have a look at Alexander Isak to score 15 or more goals himself as well. That's $1.75. Look, he had just the 10 goals last season, but only made 22 appearances for Newcastle after transferring after the season had started. And Stats Guy and I did touch on it throughout the season. Newcastle was so slow out of the blocks. They kept drawing everything 0-0, 1-0.
He came off the bench a lot as well.
Yeah, so he, really late in the year, basically in the last month of the season, he's like, oh, I'm a freak. I'm going to keep scoring goals everywhere. He's like a very, very skinny Haaland. He's so fast and his legs are massive. Look, I think the 20-plus could be on as well, and that was about $3.75. But I just think the 15 or more, given you got Callum Wilson that's going to come off the bench as well, Donnelly's come across, and there's still talk that there's a few other players coming in as well. So good rotational system going on up there at Newcastle. So just keep it safe with the 15-plus at $1.75.
Nice. Yeah, I love it. I love Isak.
Couple of Alexanders from Alex. Nice. Right. What about you there, Stats Guy?
Looking at some Wimbledon in the fourth round or round of 16 we're up to now. Stefanos Tsitsipas is taking on Chris Eubanks. It's a great matchup here.
That's my banking details. What the hell, Eubank?
is that your password as well, Tsitsipas?
No.
Oh, okay. Sure. Tsitsipas.
Alex is great. 69. Done.
Yeah, okay. That makes more sense.
Donnelly 69, thank you. Alex 420 is the backup.
Nice.
I'm going to hack you so bad.
It's a lot of people going to hack you.
I can't wait for my first grade teacher, Miss Canella, to log into my bank details. What is your first grade teacher's name? I got you now, you bastard.
I know that guy.
Finally, payback for the horrors you put in.
Or your dog's name. All right, so we're going to go back to Wimbledon. Tsitsipas taking on Eubanks. Tsitsipas.
So the thing about your bank details.
Eubanks that was his old career, but he's on the tennis court now. Tsitsipas has had a pretty tough draw, but he just continues to win. He defeated Gia, Team, and Murray, who haven't been the best over the last 2 years, but this season they've been really good, and all of those three tennis players have been known to cause upsets, so he's had a pretty good run beating all of those. He's had a great season also making the final at the Australian Open and the Barcelona Open, and I think he's just much more experienced in these big games. This is the furthest Eubanks has ever made it to through Wimbledon. He's never made it past the third round until this year, so I think Tsitsipas's experience can take over here. Sometimes has a little bit of a temper, but he's sort of quietened down since the Australian Open. I think the last couple of tournaments, a little bit more level-headed, which is surprising for him. And he's got an extremely accurate serve. I saw in the last match against Gia, Tsitsipas won 82% of his points on his first serve. Just his first serve, he gets a lot of aces. I think he had about 8 aces, which is awesome. And then he also you can hardly get him back. Even if you get him back, he'll come up and volley. He's one of those attacking players that are perfect for the grass courts. And then the other thing is, as I said, he sometimes can have a bit of a lapse. So 5 of Tsitsipas's last 7 wins, he's conceded a set. Eubanks is in his career best form. I think he can take the first or second set, but Tsitsipas win 3-1. So that $3.60, better than your $1.40. $1.40 is pretty good for Tsitsipas to chuck in your multi, because I think he'll definitely win, just more experience. But he doesn't always win in those straight sets. So Tsitsipas 3-1, $3.60 with Ladbrokes, I think the better bet in this one.
Nice one. Yeah, Eubanks getting a set off him feels dicey, I feel like, but he is good enough, I think, to look. And Tsitsipas does have like the brain farts. Yeah. It's like, it's like the second set, I lost 6-3. Hang on.
Yeah. Tsitsipas has had an extra hour or two on court in this tournament as well, because he's had a couple of 4 and 5 setters. So Eubanks, might start off a bit stronger, but experience will take over.
Good one. Not bad. Yeah. What is he? An honorary Australian? Tsitsipas as well?
What's it called? Stalactites. He has a few Sivalakis named after him there, I'm pretty sure.
I love a good server. Righto, let's do some match picks. MLB All Star game. This might have snuck up on a few people. It's usually around July 4. Now it's July 12, so I think it's hitting Wednesday. I'll be talking about this again tomorrow, but just as a straight ahead game pick, go the under. Simple as that. Go the under. I love the AL as well. I think they've ripped off like a massive straight amount of wins. But the under, it's only gone over this line of 7.5 once in the last 6 All-Star games. You might go, there'll be lots of fireworks.
That's surprising,
really.
Yeah.
A lot of the times, because they're rotating through pitches and stuff like that, so it's a lot tighter, it's a lot tougher. to, when you're facing like a couple of different aces, like
Yeah.
as opposed to just one dude who might sort of get a bit wobbly down the stretch of the fifth inning or something. You look at the AL as well. I really, really like this lineup that they've got. They've got, obviously, Aaron Judge has been named, but he's injured. Mike Trout's injured, but they've still got Shohei Ohtani. Love that. You got basically a half a team worth of the Texas Rangers as well because they've been that dominant this year. But Bo Bichette, I love him up there in Toronto just because he makes me think of Boba Fett every time I say his name. You got Vlad Guerrero Jr. I love him a lot too. But it's dudes like in Baltimore, Adley Rushman. He's also in the home run derby as well. Julio Rodriguez obviously is the home run king. There you go. And it's just like a slightly tougher team, I think, than the NL. So in terms of the pitchers, they've got Ohtani, they've got Garrett Cole. Castillo up there in Seattle, extremely hard to hit. You'd expect him on the mound at some point. Eovaldi, I love him from his time in Boston, but he's there with Texas now. Just a much tougher, deeper team, I think, than the NL this year, despite the NL probably being the better league across the board in my brain, just because I think Atlanta are that good. But there's also a lot of Dodgers and Braves on this NL team. You think about Mookie Betts. I think JD Martinez is like the DH. Freddie Freeman from the Dodgers, again, a former Brave. And Ronald Acuna Jr. God, he's good. So half this team is made up of Braves, and then the other half is basically the Dodgers. But I just think the AL has a bit too much depth. And so they're actually just slightly favoured, $1.88 versus $1.95. Give me the AL and give me the under. So you combine those, you'll get sort of your $3.80. But I'll talk about a couple of other player props. Hopefully we've got some more markets because not much has really popped up yet in this game apart from the home run derby. So hopefully the day prior, or a couple of days prior, we'll have a little bit more tomorrow.
Nice.
Right. Alex, game pick.
Yeah, going to the Women's World Cup and just having a look at some long-term props there. The Americans, we'll start off with them. They're the favourites. They're going for 3 World Cups in a row. Utter dominance from the Americans. You actually hate to see it because,
Pretty
who
much
wants them to win again? Backing them to make the final, just at $2.25. They're $3.50 to win the whole damn thing, but $2.25 to make the final. I thought it's a good bet. They should cruise through their group, top of the table, 3 from 3. And then you have a look at just the bracket and how it should work out if everything sort of goes to plan. Their half looks so much easier than the other side. Like, they're probably going to bump into Norway in, the quarterfinals, and then possibly Sweden in the semis. You think they just get through them. That run just actually looks so much easier than when I'll get to the other side in the best bets for them. So I think they'll make it through. They're too good. They're honestly too good. It's just scary how good they are. If they play to their best and don't get stuck with politics and whatever else has been going on over there for the last few years, they'll cruise through the final and they'll be extremely hard to beat in the tournament. So I don't mind that. In saying that, I did mention Sweden. I don't mind the $2 about them to make the quarterfinals. They're another team that should go through a top of their group. They're like $1.03 to qualify for the knockout stages here. More than likely, if this works out, they possibly bump into the Netherlands or Portugal in the round of 16, and then they'll probably take on maybe Spain or New Zealand. Whoever basically runs second in that Group A against the winner of Group C is who they'll bump into. And then that's sort of where it gets tricky. So I didn't want to go too far with them. I think they're a team that sort of could be on the way down, whereas a few other nations are really starting to climb up. So just the $2 for them to make the quarters. Hey, as long as they get through the round of 16, we cash in.
Nice. Yeah.
It's a good one. Sweden, not bad.
Also, go to the website, check out the group breakdown from Stats Go No.
Very nice.
Yeah. Pretty in-depth. I like it a lot. Go check that out. It's one of the featured articles on codebet.com.au. Right, Stats Guy, what about your match game picks?
Back to Wimbledon. My favourite, Ons Jabeur, taking on Petra Kvitova. It's an amazing...
I'm going to start ringing the bell if you keep talking about her, seriously.
Well,
I'm on here for the title, so let's go.
Well, this is going to be our hardest matchup according to the odds. It's an amazing round of 16 matchup, 6th versus 9th in the world. Kvitova actually leads these matchups head-to-head 4-1, hence why she's favourite. I was very surprised about that. First time Jabeur hasn't been favourites in a few tournaments. I can't remember the last time she hasn't been favourites. But I think Jabeur's come a long way since then. She's improved her slice, improved her movement, and just overall play on grass. They haven't played for about a year and a half, and since then, that's when Jabeur's made, I think, 3 finals. She's made it past the round of 16 in almost every tournament. So she's come a long way since they last met, but I think that's why the odds are sort of swayed slightly in Kvitova's favour. But the other one to look at is 3 of the last 4 meetings between these two have gone over the total games line. I think it's going to be an extremely close match. They just match up really well. And yeah, every time they play, it's going to go to at least 3 sets, I think. And I think this one will as well. Should be even a few tiebreakers in there. If you get a tiebreaker of 6-4, a couple of them is going to go over that total games, which is 22.5. I think if it goes to 3 sets, you can easily lock in that over 22.5 total games, and you get $2 odds for that one. Then Jabeur has a lot more experience now than last time she met Kvitova. I'm on her for the tournament, so I got to back her here. $2.15, which is the best odds you'll probably get for her for a couple more matches if she does make it through this round. So I'm on Jabeur all the way. She's still paying $12 to go all the way. So yeah, if you think Jabeur can still win and go all the way, she's going to drop in odds dramatically if she wins this match. So $2.15 for that, and $12 currently to win the title.
Nice one. Yeah, she's actually 13 as I look at it right now.
13. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I think she'll drop. Yeah, she'll drop dramatically if she gets past Kvitova, because she's had a bit of trouble with her in the past.
Nice one. So the over-under is 22.5, and we're going to go over.
Absolutely over, yeah.
And Jabeur, the win, $4. Love it. Not bad.
Oh, I didn't actually multi that. Yeah, cool.
Multi that up and away you go.
Nice.
Good stuff. Both sides of the Wimbledon draw, everything. Love that. All right, best bets for today, tomorrow, whenever. Mine is a whenever, because this is another, as I've said before, I'm looking into the NFL futures ahead of the season, which is fast approaching. Minnesota, the NFC North winner. This won me a bit of money last year, actually. $4. The Lions are really overvalued at the moment. $2.25. The Detroit Football Lions. I just feel like I can't back it because
it's Detroit.
Well,
yeah,
exactly. Second year of like massive hype, right? So they were the Hard Knocks team last year, and everybody loved them going into the season, and they were much more improved. It took them a while to get there, but then they got, substantially better, and they looked awesome. It's just a big step up to win enough games in a pretty tough competitive division as well. So I'm just going to back Minnesota, even if they're not, the sexiest team. They've lost a couple of weapons here and there, but they are a professional, good football team who just won't drop weird, dumb games, which you 100% can bank on Detroit doing.
Yeah.
Detroit.
NFC North is a fascinating division this year, because you do have Minnesota, you've got Detroit, you've got a weird Chicago team that's like, we're rebuilding, I guess. Yes, we are. And they've got Justin Fields, who we've seen not much from, but I think he's really, really good. Maybe that lifts their floor a little bit. They're actually the third favorite in this division. This is why it's a fascinating chat in terms of the odds, because then you've got Green Bay at $5. Basically, it's $2.25, 4 and 5. So even the bookmakers are kind of like, oh, geez, I don't know how this lands. Probably Detroit, and I think Minnesota are the much, much, much more consistent team, and I love them at $4. This will be one of my favorite looks heading into the season. And we talked about, I basically want to have the Rookie of the Year watch here, stats guy. Scoot Henderson, on the weekend, you might have seen him go up against Wembanyama. No, wait, you didn't, because he didn't play in the next one, which is...
he didn't play, that's right, yep.
Wemby went up against the Hornets and Brandon Miller.
Brandon Miller, yeah.
And you might have seen Brandon Miller miss a million shots as per
usual.
So
did Wemby, actually.
Wemby didn't look great, but this is the thing. Right. It's his first proper real NBA run.
Yeah.
And the more I think about it, the more I look at it, Scoot Henderson, basically, they played Houston, right? So Amen Thompson looked pretty good too. And if I was going to have a long shot on the Rookie of the Year, it might be Amen Thompson. But the problem is Houston then paid, he looks awesome. The problem is Houston gave $210 million, $216 million actually it came out, to two chumps to play in that exact same backcourt. A couple of veterans. Oh, we need to make the playoffs next year. Do you? Oh, but we give up our drafting. Who cares?
I still struggle to do that anyway, yeah.
You've got Fred VanVleet, you've got Dylan Brooks. Anytime you give $216 million, Alex, to a backcourt that can't make an All-Star game on their own accord, I don't know if that's good business, but here we are.
It's a lot of money. It's kind of like Chelsea last season.
Yeah, we know about that.
Exactly. So Amen Thompson's like $21. I love him, but I don't think he's going to get enough looks.
Yeah.
Scoot keeps dropping, stats guy. He was $4.50 last week. He's $4 now. You got to get on Scoot right now. He's going to have the most opportunity to win Rookie of the Year. We've talked about Chet Holmgren. We've talked about Victor Wembanyama.
I'm still on Chet, I reckon. He's looked awesome.
I think Chet, the problem is going to be with Chet, the stats might not be quite there.
Yeah.
Defensively, he'll be awesome. Rebounding-wise, he'll be awesome. But the points, and when you've got SGA, when you've got the two Jalen Williamses and Josh Giddey, I don't know if I mentioned, I think, on Thursday or Friday's show, he'll play plenty. I don't know. He should probably hit that 65 game mark. I just don't know if his stats are going to be like that. Wow.
He might get 10 points, not your 15. That can bump him up a bit. Yeah.
Whereas Scoot Henderson might average 38 minutes a game all season, play 82 games, and average like 25 points a game for a horrible Portland team. So I am all over Scoot, and even just like this quick look we got at him against Houston in the Summer League, I'm just even more all in on Scoot. So Rookie of the Year, it's pretty funny to talk about it like, 2 games into Summer League or whatever, like at the start of July, but it's not going to change like between here and like the start of October. So get on it now while you can, and there's a bit of value. Alex, what are you feeling about for your best bets?
Yeah, looking at naming the finalists in the Women's World Cup. Side note, got distracted by some of the kits. They look absolutely awesome. Adidas have shot the lights out of it. Nike have done all right, but the Adidas countries, my God, there's some good kits. I know that Jim loves a good kit matchup.
There's going to be lots of good kit matchups like the last one.
There is. Like, honestly, I just looked, I was like, there's about 7 I would purchase if I had the money. Anyway, as said before, I think USA are going to make the final on their half of the bracket. So let's go to the other half. First one, the Poms, $7 with USA to make the final. Look, I do think this is the most likely final all going to plan. The Poms are the reigning European champions as well. They keep on improving and improving and improving. Likely bump into, I think it was them and Germany are more than likely going to play in the quarterfinals, which literally could be a final, as that was the final in the European Championship. So one of the top fancies will be going home very early in the tournament. The other one I like, got to do it, Australia, $13 with the Americans. Our path does run through England or Germany in the semi-finals. This, of course, is saying that Australia, England, Germany, and America all top their groups. So if all 4 of them top their groups, they avoid each other till the semis or the final. We more than likely run into Denmark and France or Korea on the way through to that semi-final matchup against possibly England or Germany. But hey, it's a World Cup. Anything could happen, as we well know, saying that, these will all top the group. It probably won't, because you know what? Football is awesome and I love it. But hey, if it all works out the way I'm saying it, $13 for Australia to play America or $7 for America to play England in the final looks a decent bet.
That's great.
Nice. I think that a lot. $13.
Australia-USA final would be awesome.
At the moment, Japan and Colombia are also winning the kit matchups at the moment. I think they're the 2
Japan
best
have the best kits in soccer.
I tell you what, Colombia's away kit looks awesome.
I'll have to have a look at that one.
Nice one. All right, Stats Guy, what is your best bet?
An NRL future, looking at the Cronulla Sharks to make the top 4. I thought there was a bit of value there. They're currently 3rd at 10-6 for the season, and they look great on offense. They've got the clearly the league's best offense at 29 points per game, which is absolutely huge. They've got William Kennedy, Mulatalo, and Hines in absolutely awesome form. Nico Hines sort of playing with fire in his belly after no Origin selection. He's got a few tries. He's sort of doing everything for them. And they've just got so many players that can break lines and break tackles. And so I just really, really like this Sharks team. I think they could even up that 29 points a game. They scored 36 on the weekend, 52 the week before. They're just in great form. They've also won 5 of their last 7 matches, and they're 4 matches coming up to end the season are against the bottom 9 teams. And then there's got another match against the Raiders, who I think they're better than, and also in that top 4 and 5 range. So I think if they beat those bottom 9 teams, which they should, they can also beat the Raiders, who are a similar spot on the ladder. They're going to easily finish top 4. So I was very surprised that you get even money for them at $2 for them, the Cronulla Sharks, to finish in the top 4. So pretty happy with that.
I do like that a lot. Yeah. Got a bit of time for this Cronulla team. They didn't absolutely smash West like we expected, but they won by 24.
They covered the line as well. Yeah,
I think that was right, wasn't it? 20 something.
Yeah.
But happy days. Righto, there you go. Co-Bet Daily done for today. We'll be back on deck tomorrow in the studio. Should be pretty fun. So get right around the show. Subscribe, like, review, and star it on all of your podcast apps. Go on. If you're listening to it through Spotify, go subscribe on Apple Podcasts as well. What are you doing? Help a brother out. Chuck us a follow across all the socials as well. Facey, IG, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and Threads. Send in any questions via the socials. You can probably take some pot shots at Stats Guy as well while you're at it. Yeah. You can also send us some rate my multis. We'll rate your multi. Go on. Well, Alex will. I'm going to make Alex do it. That'll be fun. And otherwise, 7.5. I go 8. I think that's it, though. Thank you, Stats Guy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alex.
Cheers.
And thanks always to Geraldinho for producing. Does a great job, doesn't he? And thanks to me. I also do a great job. And I'm just, I've got a pretty good beard. Needs a bit of a trim at the moment. It's going to be long.
Going on holiday, shush.
I am. Yeah. What's Queensland going to do? Oh, that beard's
you can't I don't think you can get let in.
Checks out. All right. What do we say, Stats Guy?
Gamble responsibly.
Mayo picks come in. Happy punting. We will catch you tomorrow. CoBet Daily out.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.